Yeah, I don't think I can really think of a comedy show where the first season is excellent and the second season is excellent. I mean, I've heard of TV shows where the first season is really good and then there's the second season which is not so good. But then I also seen shows where the first season is okay, but the second season is a whole lot better. For Archer, both seasons are completely awesome. I skimmed through season one without even thinking about it, and then also I skimmed through season two. I was on season three before I even knew it. It's one of those shows where I was just dying. I can't think of an episode in season two that I would really skip over. But anyway, Archer season two. So Archer season two is the continuing story of Sterling Archer and the ISIS gang. That doesn't exactly sound good in a sentence nowadays for sure. But anyway, in this season, they actually do focus on a storyline, more or less focus on a storyline. It's the biggest one out of them all, and that is who is Sterling's father. I mean, at the very end of season one, we find out that his father might be the leader of the KGB of all people, but then we also find out that Mallory may or may not know exactly who Archer's father is. It could be a list of men that she dated at the same time. And yeah, she is definitely not Mother of the Year. She'll never be Mother of the Year. But also, we kind of find out a little bit of backstory about Archer. I mean, we know that he went to boarding school and that he didn't really have a lot of friends in school and all such. But we also find out that he was born in a bar, and his mother left him for the first 4 years of his life. And once she came back, knowing he'd been to boarding school for 13 years, she basically sent him off to boarding school right when she got home. So, no, she is not parent of the year. So when a hooker comes around claiming that her child is Sterling Archer's child, how do you think that was actually going to show up? I mean, we all know that Archer would get himself into a bunch of shenanigans, and it's always fun to see an asshole get his comeuppance once or twice, but really, when it comes to one moment like the tattoo moment, which is illegal, I do not tell anyone to ever do that. But there is a tattoo scene where I'm thinking, it's Sterling Archer. What do you expect? He was raised by Mallory of all people. But anyway, there's also Cyril and Lana. Cyril and Lana have broken up, and Cyril has been going through treatment, and people bully him a whole lot more. This is the season where everyone really finds their groundwork, where they're actually going to be as the show goes on. One thing I really like about Archer is that it gives the characters a whole lot of time for breathing room. They give them enough time to actually build their characters and become exactly who they are and how their characters change as the story moves on. But also there is another character, and that's Cheryl. Cheryl is another character that we now know exactly who she is. She's not some small town living in an apartment desk worker or anything. No, she's a multi-millionaire. I mean, she is worth $500 million. She is basically living in this massive house that looks like something out of the Addams family, which would make sense with the things that turn her on. And also, she has a pet ocelot named Babu. And we also find out that Archer is a huge fan of animals. Just gives it another reason why you should love Sterling Archer. But also, there 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 is another episode. There is another episode in a season where we see a little bit of backstory about Woodhouse. Woodhouse is Archer's butler, and basically Archer treats him like a servant. He's never good to him. He's always mean to him. We always also found out that not only is Woodhouse a junkie, he likes to shoot himself with drugs every now and then, but also he was a World War I hero, and his commanding officer when he died, that sentence he said got me rolling around on the floor. The last thing he ever said. I mean, if I were to be shot like that, I want that to be the last thing I ever said. Put that on my tombstone if I ever get murdered. But anyway, we get to see a little bit of backstory on that, which I found really fascinating. And also, there is a cancer episode, an episode where Sterling Archer gets breast cancer. Actually, this is the next episode where he is getting the treatment for it, and he finds out that the treatment drugs that he is taking are not real. They're just basically sugar pills and alcohol. So he goes on a massive rampage to hunt down this mob that is counterfeiting cancer drugs, while at the same time getting the real drugs and going through the chemo and everything. And he's just basically he kills a lot of people in that episode. It was super, super, super funny. I was dying for half of it because not only is he killing a whole bunch of people in very brutal ways, he is also having chemotherapy at the same time, as well as smoking joints the size of cigars. Basically, he was hotboxed for most of that episode. I was dying with that episode. It's got to be one of my top three favorite Archer episodes of all time. Definitely an episode worth watching. But anyway, I gotta say, season two, still funny, still hilarious. It's basically in my mind at the same level of season one. So I gotta say, season two is legendary. So guys, season two of Archer, have you seen it? What did you think of it? And I will tell you this right now: if you skim through season one and then skim through season two, you're basically an Archer fan at this point. But whatever you thought, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.